Hey guys, here are 5 things I absolutely hate about my Ducati Monster 696. Number 1. Getting to the battery is an absolute pain in the freaking ass. You have to take off the seat, the tank left side, tank right side, this middle section strip here. You gotta take out the 2 bolts in the back. You gotta pop up this tank all odd like because it's not on hinges like the older Ducatis. Then you're balancing this tank and then you finally get to the battery. If you have to jump this bike, it's an absolute nightmare. You'll need 6 tools, a third hand, and another spare bike to jump the motorcycle. It's absolutely terrible to jump this bike. And I've had the battery die on me a handful of times now to know confidently that it's one of the worst features of this motorcycle. Absolute garbage trying to get to the battery on this bike. Number 2. It's sadly the power. I love how fast this bike is, but it's not as fast as it looks. It's got 80 horsepower and everyone assumes it's like 100 million. It's fast enough for me and I think it's a blast to ride, but everyone just assumes it's this rocket ship. The name and the color and the Italian sport bike stigma makes it seem faster than it really is. When you get 2 people on this thing, it's pretty standard and average. Number 3, maintenance cost. Every 7,500 miles you gotta get valve adjustments on this motorcycle. That's $1,000 every 7,500 miles. This bike has 13,000 miles on it. That means it's been through it's about to go to its 2nd valve adjustment. So this bike is MSRP 9 grand and it was brand new. Another 2 grand to get it up to this mileage. And the oil changes are expensive on top of all of that. So, maintenance cost. Number 4 is practicality. There's no storage on this bike at all. I used to have other sport bikes where the top here had storage in it. It was super convenient. You couldn't put much in it, but if you needed to hold something, you've got a place. Here, there's nothing. Underneath here, there's barely enough room for the owner's manual and a piece of registration. So terribly impractical when it comes to having to store anything. And bungee points, you don't really have much. So even if you want to strap a bag on this thing, which I've done before, you don't have that many options. And the number 5 thing I hate most about my Ducati Monster is this freaking seat angle. When you ride this bike, this slope causes you to slide. So after about 30 minutes of riding, your groin is jammed up against this tank. I'm not even exaggerating. I gotta like shift often, and I put the tank pads on, which helped a lot, but you gotta continuously scoot yourself back or else you're just discomforting yourself, especially as a male. Probably the worst part about it is that part. You know? That, in my opinion, is probably the worst part about this bike. It's just sliding upward all the time. And this protrudes quite a bit, so slide right into that. My old Monsters didn't have this. It was a flatter tank, which wasn't an issue. So that's number 5. Things I hate about my Ducati Monster. Do I actually hate this thing? Absolutely not. Those are just the 5 things that I don't like but can live with on a daily basis on this bike. I still love how it looks, how it sounds, how it performs, all that good stuff. But those are the things you just gotta live with when getting this bike, and you should know ahead of time. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. I'll see you later.